So yeah, we had probably the most eclectic group of short movies in this little screening. We had, as I've just said, we had some love spuds in there, we had some serial killers in there, and we had your good self in The Hand That Feeds. How was that, seeing that up on the big screen tonight?
And that was incredible, actually. I've never seen it on the big screen. It was quite amazing to watch it that big, to see me that big instead of just this big.
But I am told, and you have been a regular patron of the Romford Film Festivals. You've been here quite a lot of times.
Yeah.
I believe this is the first time we've had you up on screen in a project, though.
Yes, it is. It's the first time.
Was it because you've been here all these years and you're like, look, I want to see something up there? What was that?
Well, no, I've done some extra work, and I also tried making a couple of short films myself as part of a college course I was doing. And amazingly, I got contacted by the director, John Paravallaris, and he said that he had a project that I would be ideal for, and would I be interested? So I met up with him, and he told me what the whole thing was, and immediately I thought, yeah, that's, you know. I mean, he sold it to me by saying it's 2 days of you sitting in bed eating pizza, which to me seemed like an ideal job.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so are you going to be giving us, you directed one as well, didn't you?
I did direct one, yeah. That wasn't accepted in, but that was part of the college course thing I did. That was I mean, it was so cheap. It basically cost the amount of money it cost us to buy a set of makeup from Asda's.
Nice.
For Halloween. That's how much the budget was. But so I'm not surprised it wasn't accepted, to be honest. That was a thing. It was called Mall Cop. It's on YouTube, and it's about a zombie security guard, basically.
And can we expect to see more? Are you going to be bringing us more projects? More
I
films?
would like to. Yeah, I want to try and get back to making my films myself. The problem we had is just, I mean, with doing this film, doing The Hand That Feeds You, we finished filming it literally just before lockdown. So it then took like 2 years for post-production to be done. So that's been, you know, and now that we've all come out of lockdown again and that sort of thing, I want to get back into making films. But at the moment, I'm spending a lot of time. Something that I did during lockdown was my son and myself, we do a film review podcast, which is one of the reasons why I'm here. Yeah. So we review horror and sci-fi films, and that goes out weekly on YouTube. So
well, don't just tease us, give us the name.
It's called the Sci-Horror Film Podcast.
Excellent.
It's on YouTube, and we try and do a mix of old and new films. We always try and do some independent films, especially independent short films that are available on YouTube for people. So, and we put links up to the films and the filmmakers. And we so people can watch the films themselves. We also try to do interviews. I've managed to get a few interviews set up already this year with a few people who are filmmakers here. So we're looking forward to doing those in the weeks to come.
So everyone here, get yourself on YouTube, like it, subscribe, all that good stuff, please.
Thank you very much.
That's the way we roll. It's the way we roll. So what are you doing next? What are you working on now?
At the moment, I've got 2 scripts that I'm kind of working on. One of them is it's a kind of comedy thing, but it's set in basically. The idea is it's like a waiting room or a sorting room where people go when they die to be told whether they're going to go to heaven, hell, or purgatory or whatever, and it's a different group of people, and they get sorted as they go. But it's got some comedy. It's got comedy elements to it because of the fact that it's like you find out that basically heaven isn't the way you think it is. Heaven is like a franchise, and every country has their own heaven, and it's run more like a corporate body rather than, you know, it's not God. It's sort of done by a group of people getting together in a meeting room and decide what the rules are. You know. So that's sort of one of the ideas I've got. The other one is it's a possible expanding of the idea that we did for Mall Cop and doing it properly rather than just cheaply. So that could be done. We're waiting to see who we can get interested in that.
Did anybody else get a feeling of that? The first movie that you were talking about that you're working on there, kind of felt like, you know, when you're sitting in Argos and you're waiting for them to go and get that thing for you?
Yes.
That's what that felt like to me, so that's very relatable. Yeah, make that definitely, because I hate when you go to Argos. I'm going to push it over to some questions. Do we have any questions in the crowd?
The idea was that he was a coder, but he didn't come across that well in the film, I must admit. In the original thing, he was a coder, but he was working on kind of dubious, illegal projects, which is why he could charge so much, because of the fact that there was nobody else to do it effectively without, you know, he was breaking the law by doing what he was doing, so he could charge a lot of money for doing it.
And he didn't pay for his pizza either.
He didn't pay for his pizza either, no. It's you know, it's a terrible thing. People should be alarmed by that.
But then again, it's karma comes round to him, so I wouldn't worry about that.
I mean, it was fun to make. The only thing that we did the pizza choking scene 4 times because John is a bit of a perfectionist, and he didn't think he quite had it right. But then when we did it the last time, he kind of got so involved in what I was doing, he forgot to say cut. So I was literally started to choke on the pizza. But it did put me off eating pizza for a while, I must admit, because I had 2 full days of doing that.
And the best thing is, I bet you went with that first take as well.
Yeah, probably.
Do we have any other questions?
Was the hand made of?
Oh, the hand, yeah. I've got to give full kudos. Janet, I can't remember her name now. God, it's terrible. But no, she was studying makeup and stuff like that, and it was the first time she'd ever done prosthetics, and she cast my hand in silicone, and then we had a plastic hand skeleton which she cut up, and she literally cut the lump of my prosthetic hand off, and then sort of inserted the plastic skeleton hands in there, and then just put sort of bits of skin hanging off, that sort of thing. But it was all silicone-based stuff. So it was, and she painted it all and did all that kind of stuff. It was quite incredible for somebody doing it for the very first time. I think she did an amazing job.
Looks great. It does look great. So I'm going to ask the most important question to wrap this up, and that is, what game were you playing?
I have no idea. To be honest, when I was playing it, there was nothing on the TV wasn't even on.
You just seemed super into it, so I wanted to ask. But again, thank you so much for bringing the film to us and letting us show it tonight. Thank you for being here and doing this. And before you leave, let everybody know about your podcast again, and then we will wrap that up.
Okay, well, thank you for having me here and having the film here. The podcast is called the Sci-Horror Film Podcast, and it's on YouTube. The channel is Thrave Productions, so you should be able to find that quite easily, I think.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Can we check your round of applause? Don't even have to ask.